Hey guys, if you're joining me from watching my previous video, you know what this one's about. Of course, if you didn't read this disclaimer on this one, it's also for my business channel as well as my beauty channel because it does pertain to beauty. And today I will be discussing my nail polish line. And if you watched my previous video, you will actually know that I have a 15 milliliter bottle inside a 15 milliliter box, but it's not going to touch the top. And I've actually had trouble finding packaging to fix this because this is the second size up. The first size, I could not fit the bottle in it. I could only fit the top. So it wasn't very wide. But this is what the bottle looks like. It's 15 milliliters, 0.5 fluid ounces, which is, standard for nail polish. It just comes in a little wider bottle. I think it comes like in a standard bottle really myself, but I have like a frosted label on it. This one is from the Teen Superhero Collection, and I don't have the name at the bottom, but I know this is for Raven, so this is the Mistress of Magic color. Of course, I do have mixing beads in here, though I can't hear them. I don't know, I may have to get like bigger beads because I think I have 3 or 4 in here, so. But this is the color. It's very gorgeous purple. And I do have swatches and a few names for a couple lines I'm bringing out. So put this back in here. And when I send them out, I will have to put cotton at the bottom. So don't freak out if you get your nail polish and you find out there's cotton at the bottom. It's just to keep it from shaking all over like it's doing now. I can do it now because I'm not putting much force into the shake, and plus I know it's not going to break when I do it, but when it's postal traveling, we can't have it knocking around like that. I'm going to show you, since we just saw the Teen Superhero line, I'm just going to go over that one because I only have like 4 colors. Mixing up the last one and trying to find a really good shade for it so I can release it. But of course, Mr. Magic's right here. This was the first one I've ever done, was Shapeshifter, which is for Beast Boy. Then you got Orange Star for Starfire. It's a really pretty kind of dark apricot color. Then you got cat fur on it, but I forgot. I think I call him either Metal Man or Cyberman. I think I had written down Cyberman for him. Of course, this is for Cyborg. It's a really kind of metalish gray color. And I will have a yellow one for Robin. I know what you're thinking, yellow for Robin? I kind of just took the color from Teen Titans, the animated series. And if any of you remember watching it, I actually took the color from the color R on his uniform, which is yellow. So I kind of thought that one would be yellow, because I've already have like a red for another line, but I might design a darker red later on. I don't know. But Yehuvians would definitely love this next line. I only have 2 colors in it though, but I'm gonna get more. I have this TARDIS blue looking color, and this little kind of blondish gold sparkle color. That one's kind of like Rose with her blonde hair. So that's the only ones I have. They have no names yet. I'm considering Rose Wolf for the blonde, kind of like Bad Wolf Rose or something, without using like the trademark thing, names. So that's the hardest part of naming this crap and naming a line, is because you can't use certain words because you might get slapped with a lawsuit. So changing just enough of the words so that way I can still use them. This next one, of course, is from an anime line, and it's called Feudal Era. Yes, it is a line for the Inuyasha. And so far I only have 2 colors. I think most of these I have 2 colors, because it's so hard to pick which colors when you're making it. Like, ooh, it can go with this one, it can go with this one, it can go with this one. So I actually really have a hard time kind of just finding a line for it. But This one I'm calling Inu, because it's the same gold as Shomaru and Inuyasha's eyes. And I don't know what I'm going to call this one. I think the color's kind of leaning more towards Shippo. I don't know. I'm kind of getting Shippo from the color, so I'm going to have to really sit down and think of a good name for that one. For now, this next one is from one of my favorite video games I used to play as a kid. And no, it's not my absolute favorite, so those who know me, it's not anything about Tenchu, so. This one is from my second favorite video game as a kid. And it is the Devil May Cry line, which is now called Demon Hunters. I was going to call them Devil Hunters, but I think that was a little too close. So, this one I know you can't really see very well. It's a nice shimmery, pearly white, which is kind of inspired by Nero and Virgil and Dante's hair. So, and this one was inspired by Dante's coat, but it's more like a cherry red than a darker red. This one I might actually have to darken up somehow. But it's called Coat. Obviously, come on. And this one I just call Demon because this is like a kind of brownish, blackish, grayish kind of color. So obviously it kind of makes you think like dark things. So why not, you know, instead of calling it devil one, just call it like demons. So like, because it kind of goes with the Demon Hunter line, you know. Devil May Cry is the devil hunter, you know, so he's gonna hunt the devils. Demon Hunter is gonna hunt the demons. So that's all I really got right now. I only have like very few polishes because I'm still mixing some up. It's actually hard trying to get the color right because you have to get the color right first before you add it into your formula mixture. And that's actually the really hard part because you have to really grind the colors down, make sure there's no lumps, and it's not going to clump in your formula when you add it to it. So I've actually got quite a few colors mixed up, but it's just like all wrong. So I'm going to try to take some away and fix it, and that actually takes the majority of my time. So, and also pretty much me trying to figure out how to fill my eyeliner pencils because I'm working on eyeliner pencil formula. And I'm having trouble putting it inside the pencil because it's so thin that it solidifies so quickly before it even reaches the top. And some I do reach the top, and once I sharpen it to see, it kind of like curves inward or just discombobulated and horribly shaped. So once I get that, I'll be able to upload a video of that. So pretty much, if you want to check out any of my stuff from my line that I have coming out, or the soaps and some beauty products I do have, like rose water and stuff like that, you know, to go check the link below. It'll show you my Etsy store, my Store Envy store. Also have an eBay store. I'm fixing to open up an Amazon.com store. So my product would be available whichever way you want to order. So go check that out, and I am going to do what I gotta do so that way I can come back in a few hours and give you an update on the eyeshadow. But if you watched the previous video, you already know how that's going to turn out. So, alright, see you guys.